Hey, what's going on? Sean here. Today, well, if you guys didn't see the first interview, we got the second interview episode today. Very different from what we usually produce here, guys, but we're trying something new, so let's see how it works out. But I'm here with Samantha Turret. I'm so sorry about that.
No, I prefer that pronunciation. Thank you.
Perfect. But before we get into the questions, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah. Hi, friends. I'm Samantha Turret. I'm an actor, a voice actor, and a teaching artist. And I'm located in Los Angeles, and I'm so excited to be here.
That is awesome. Yeah, I'm over here in good old New Jersey, so I wish we had your weather right now.
Hey, I'm from New Jersey originally, so I get it.
Oh, yeah, it works out then. But is there anything you want to say before we jump into everything else?
Warning, you might hear my dog. He's in a mood, but
Oh, don't worry about it.
you've been warned.
There's a dog outside. Every time I either record or I stream, he seems to want to bark. He's my biggest fan, apparently. So, um, but oh, my voice cracked there. But let's just jump into the question. I haven't written it down, so if you see me looking down here, I have everything written down.
You're prepared. You're
Yes.
professional.
So how long have you been in the voice acting slash acting business for?
Solid question. I started acting when I was a kid, but I didn't start like professionally acting until 2013. Oh my God, that's so long.
That's almost 10 years. That's almost 10 years.
I was 12 when I started, so now I am the ripe age of 24.
Oh.
No, I'm not. I'm just making up things.
Oh,
So,
oh. I was like 24. um,
yeah, I started young when I was a little kid, but then professionally after school and everything.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, school definitely gets in the way of a lot of things. I
Tell me
know
about it,
that.
especially when you go to school in the middle of nowhere.
I feel that though. I'm in the middle of nowhere, so that's yeah, whatever.
New Jersey, are you?
I'm from Wyckoff,
Oh, nice. Okay.
yeah,
I'm
so
from Morristown, which is north.
which is north. Yeah, I think I heard of that before. So,
Yeah.
what was your first acting gig?
Good question. My first like childhood community theater acting thing was playing like hyena number three in The Lion King.
Oh, yo.
Yeah, I was very little, but it was very fun. And my first professional credit was, I think, a regional theater production of The Diary of Anne Frank was right
Oh,
after
that's
school.
awesome.
Yeah, I loved it. It was very fun.
You mentioned like the Lion King. Was that like a local thing or was that
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I like was obsessed with the idea of being on stage since like I saw my brother in a community theater like tiny little production of something and I was like I need to do it. So I did whatever I could get my hands on.
That's so cool. Um, Now I know a lot of people might know you from Nickelodeon because you were on some Nickelodeon shows. Now,
Yeah.
what was it like working on Nickelodeon? If you want to share with the shows you were on, you're more than welcome to do that as well.
Sure. I started the first time I worked with Nickelodeon was I think in 2015. We did a pilot that has not aired, but it was really fun and I had such a good time with them and they were like the coolest people I've ever met, way cooler than I will ever be. And that was when I lived in New York. And then I did like a voiceover promo thing because one of them recommended me to another Nickelodeon person because they're all just so nice and they like share and it's great. And then when I moved here, which was not long ago, I moved here 3 years ago. I got really lucky and I got this audition for a smaller role on Top Elf, and then I got bumped up like last minute to the host. Which was awesome and unexpected. And again, some of the same people I met in 2015 were a part of it, which was crazy.
That's from 20. That's so like, cause I was like, when did you film Top Elf? Like, when
We
was that?
filmed the first season almost 3 years ago. So like
Oh wow.
two and change. And then we filmed the second season about 1 year ago.
Oh, so you filmed that during like COVID and all that. So how was that like? Was that difficult at all, or?
Yeah, for sure. It was still like incredibly fun. It's just there were a lot. They're really safe, which is amazing,
That's
and but there was a lot more distance. Usually, like on a film set, you get to like talk to everyone, and you get to like eat lunch together and be best friends, and you get to hang out, and then like you can leave and you can like go get dinner together, and then you can drive together home. But with COVID, we were sequestered. We all had to stay in a hotel in our own bubble, and we were only allowed to interact with certain people. So I was only allowed to interact with my good friend Tommy, who was Santa Claus. So me and him were allowed to interact, but we weren't supposed to interact with anybody else except like brief moments on set, which in the past you got to like really hang out.
I mean, of course, like everyone's safety is first and everything, but like it's understandable. That really does stink.
Yeah, and we did, I think it was over 200 COVID tests in the course of the shoot. And not like per person, but
Oh, I thought I meant per person.
no,
Oh man.
for the whole cast and crew, it was over 200 tests, and all of them came back negative. So they, whatever they were doing, they did very well.
I mean, that's if everyone came back negative for the entire shoot, that means you guys were doing
Yeah,
something right.
especially when there's like kids there, and like all sorts of people are there and walking around, and makeup people touch your face. It can be dangerous in
Yeah.
this town.
So, like with makeup, like you mentioned, like I just, like, was that hard with the mask and all that, or you were able to take off your mask and all that?
Yeah, for the most part, everybody was masked at all times, and then there were makeup people on set that were like constantly touching people up. And they limited who had a makeup person, so like a lot of makeup was done. So a couple of us had a makeup person, but a lot of the people, like a lot of the elves didn't end up having a makeup person. They had somebody like check them afterwards, just to like keep distance. But it worked out.
Hey, you know what? I mean, hey, you guys had a second season. That's not many shows get a second season, so that's really good. And given,
Yeah, and it happened. It happened despite everything. It got pushed and pushed and pushed, and then it was just we were like maybe going to film in Georgia, and then it was like a wild ride.
was there any moments like you guys thought it was not gonna happen?
Oh yeah, because we had already like 100% we were gonna do it, and then it got worse. Everything got worse, and they were like, we don't know what we're gonna do, and then like nobody had signed anything yet, which is weird. Usually it happens quicker, but it was just like everything was in such I don't know, nothing was 100% happening yet, and then everything was shutting down, and a lot of film sets were shutting down because of getting COVID and getting sick. But eventually it was like, it's definitely going to happen. It just might not happen in LA,
Oh, okay.
was where we ended up.
But you guys did do it in LA though, right?
Yeah. We
Okay.
ended same exact North Pole as last year.
Yeah, no, I remember like because my sister like watches Nickelodeon, so I remember seeing the commercials and all that, and that's how I found you on Instagram and all that. So, because like she watched it and all that, so she was a fan.
Aw, yay. Tell her hi.
I will definitely tell her. You know, because like I know like a lot of sets were shutting down. Cause I like I'm a movie guy. I'm like TVs, and like I've seen like all these sets. And I'm just like, oh please,
Yeah.
no.
It's crazy, and like, things are shutting down left and right anyway, but it's like one of the only industries you really do have to be in person for it to happen.
Yeah,
There's
like
only so many Zoom reunions a human being can watch before they throw their TV at the floor.
and there's only so many Zoom reunions for shows and movies you can do until you run out, and you're just like, okay, well
Oh
we
yeah.
can't do
I
any of
watched
that.
like two of those and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm like, I'd much rather than be in person, but you know, I
Yeah.
could
If
take it.
you're on Zoom enough, like to
Yeah.
be done and finish your Zoom whatever and then have to turn on TV and like it's Zoom, you're like, oh,
Like, oh, no, thank you. No,
it's
thank you.
everywhere.
Now, I know you guys had like guest stars on Top Elf. Now, did you have a favorite guest star on there, or?
Yeah, I love SNL. So when Jay Farrow was on there, I was very excited. But all of them were absolutely wonderful. Tori Kelly was like one of the nicest people I've ever met, and she like genuinely connected with the kids, which was so sweet. And then of course any of the like the people that came to fame in social media, the kids were obsessed with. It was very cool to see like me be geeking out over SNL people and then them being like, Addison Rae, who was also wonderful, but they don't watch SNL yet.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't.
It's like oh, with all TikTok and everything now, everyone's like, oh my god, like this, and that, like mind blowing. Like, I mean, if I was a kid and I was like on the show, TikToker came in, I'm like, whoa, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, somebody you see like every day on your phone.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And it's just like them in person. Like, I mean, I go to conventions all the time, and meeting those people who like I've watched on TV or whatever, just like they're
You're
real.
They're not on my device anymore. It is. It was exciting, and it was exciting to see them get excited.
That's so cool. Now, like going back to like the guest star thing, was there any guest stars that you guys were planning to have but weren't able to get?
Such a good question. They kept it really hush hush who we were going to get until usually the day of, if not like moments before. And I think that's because especially during COVID, it was like, we're not sure if they're going to be able to be here. Like, if they test positive, they're not coming. So no, I have no idea. I don't know. I assume that there were people that should have been there that never made it, but oftentimes in the scripts there would be blanks. It would be like we would get our script and it would be like, "And welcome blank," and we're like,
You're like, oh, cool.
and then like the day of, they would hand us the new pages and be like, "It's this person, and this is what they do, and this is the script." But originally we got just a bunch of blanks.
That's like I remember like watching him and I seeing everyone's reactions was like, okay, so they clearly did not know.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was a surprise. I mean, like we would the adults on set would obviously like see them coming in if
Oh
they
yeah.
drove in. But still it would be like same day, if not same hour.
Did you guys have Peyton List on there at one point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was our first season. I love her. That was exciting too, because I am such a big fan of Cobra Kai.
That that was like, my next thing. I love Cobra Kai and like I legit went out.
Not super big. It was when it was still on YouTube, I think.
Oh my god, I actually bought YouTube. I had YouTube like premium, whatever it was, before like they moved to Netflix. So I watched it on there. I still pay for it.
So
but,
good.
yeah, it's such a great show, and that's actually went out today. I had to go buy a shirt 'cause I have something for tomorrow for Cobra Kai. So it's like,
Love
but I remember watching her on like Disney and all that, and just seeing her like in that now, just like whoa.
Yeah, she's awesome. So nice. God, I love Cobra Kai.
That's one of the shows they got right, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that show rocks. I could watch another 10 seasons and
Oh
be
yeah.
happy, probably.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I hadn't watched Karate Kid until it came out, and then I was like, "Ooh, this looks good," so I'm gonna watch Karate Kid.
Yeah, no, I remember like watching bits and pieces of it, but then I finally rewatched it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I missed a lot. Now, you're pretty big on TikTok. Yeah, you now the soups. I'm very curious about the soups. Do you want to explain that?
Yes, I intended to go on TikTok and like promote acting stuff and do like scenes and do comedy because I do like improv and stand up and characters, and nobody watched any of it. And then one day I was like, I'm gonna start filming the most boring things in the world because it doesn't matter and it's easy. So I filmed soup defrosting and it got 14 something million views. um, on soup defrosting. And now I can't post anything else because everybody's like, where's the soup?
Like like you keep showing up on my For You page, like it's like I mean we're friends on there too. So like every time you show up on my For You page, I'm like, oh, another soup video. Like what do you know? Like what number soup video you're up to right now?
I don't. I don't. It's so weird and it's so niche. And it's very easy. Like when I started on TikTok, I was doing like scenes, like sketches. Nobody watched them. And this is the easiest thing I've ever filmed in my life. No talent. It takes no talent to film your food thawing. Um,
I feel that though. I feel that with mine too. Just like I record something, I post it. If it does well, it does well. Like, and then there we go.
if I put work into it, then I'll be like, nobody watched it.
Mhm.
But this way I can be kind of mad that they did watch it and be like, but why?
This is the thing that went viral. What the? Why?
Yeah, yeah. But it's nice. I've gotten like a couple people wanted to give me sponsorships, which is nothing great, but like somebody sent me knives in the mail, which was terrifying.
Oh,
Uh,
that's very terrifying.
he was like, "I'll send you some knives if you do a video." It's like, um, and
Did
then
you
like,
get the knives?
yeah, he got me knives and he
Oh.
paid me money. But the knives, I probably shouldn't say this, but like, I used it and it was fine. And then a week later, I took it out of my drawer and it was fully rusted. Like the whole
Ooh.
thing was rusty. And I was like, okay, this is why they need people to.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit of a error there, but
Ooh, it's so disgusting. How does a knife do that? How does, like, knives are made to not do that?
they're not supposed to. Like,
No,
even if it's like new, it's not supposed to rust like that.
no, it's the whole thing. Like, the whole thing is brown. It's so gross.
You mean like the
I
handle
checked
and all
it,
that?
like, posterity. The handle is wood, so the handle's
Oh,
okay. But like, I don't know, blade,
the blade part,
yeah,
yeah.
fully just rust. Disgusting.
Now, do you have a favorite soup though?
You know what? I don't love soup.
Wait, what? That
I
was,
just, and now I'm forced to eat it for the rest of my life. It's, it really sucks. Some soup is good. Most soup is fine. It's easy, like it's a good way to get hydration. It's healthy. Let me see. Favorite soup? I don't know. Yeah, so I just sold myself out.
well, yeah, but it's working.
It's, you know what? And like the amount of people that fight in the comments about the soup thinking that I care is so funny. It's
Oh,
like, I know this soup doesn't look good. It's soup.
yeah. No, I've seen the fights in your comments before, and I'm just like, guys, there are so much more things to fight about, and you guys are fighting about soup. And
Of
so,
all things. And I mean like the more the merrier. If they want to fight in there, at least it's not like, I don't know, fighting about something that would be bad. Like
oh yeah, yeah.
fight over soup. Get it out. Get it out of your system.
Have
Fight
fun.
now.
Have fun
Fight
with
here.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, like I know I get the whole like fighting thing because like I know like on mine and all that. Someone's like, oh, where's the full video? I'm like, oh, it's in my link. Like, no, you didn't make this. I'm like, yes, I did. Click the link. I'm not clicking the link. I'm just like, okay, well, I can't really, I can't really convince you otherwise. So whatever.
People are wild, and I feel like half of the people on there that are fighting are like not even real people, or they're children, like they're literal like 7-year-olds who have their parents' phone. I can't take anything that anyone says seriously on there because
No way.
it's all so funny.
It's or someone with a lot of time on their hands and they should
Yeah.
probably get a hobby.
Yeah, a lot of these people need to find a job
That is true.
or like an extracurricular activity.
Anything, but just
Any-
not fighting.
If you're fighting over these things, like I'm sure you're unpleasant.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, well, well, I mean, so without the soup, do you have like a favorite? We could go on the food topic. Do you have a favorite food at all?
Oh, for sure. I love sushi. I don't make sushi. Things that I make that I really like. I love a good stir fry. Those are great. I love to make curry on occasion. I'm obviously not like a pro at making any of these things, but I love like Asian inspired food.
That's awesome. Stir fries, top
Ah,
notch, top
it's
notch.
so good. So good. And peanut butter, like straight from the jar
Oh,
peanut butter.
peanut butter is always good.
It's I could actually be happy and just eat peanut butter probably for the rest of my life. I would probably be satisfied.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I could go with that too.
Like if you had to choose one thing, it's got protein, it's nice to eat, it's comforting. Peanut butter all the way.
That I like that. I like that. Now, is there any like okay, so going back to the acting, of course. I only got a couple more questions here. So go back to like acting and all that. So is there an actor you would love to like actor or actress would you love to work with, like in the future or something?
Ah, yes. I love like all of the again, I'm a big fan of SNL and all of these comedy legends. So I would love to work with I know she wasn't on it very long, but Jenny Slate I'm obsessed with. I think she's so talented, like both as a hilarious comedian, but also like she's so good as a dramatic actress. And then Amy Poehler, I love passionately. Also, she's a UCB star as well, which is awesome. And Tina Fey, all the like strong, independent, improv heavy comedy queens.
That's awesome. Amy Poehler's with me. I love Parks and Rec and
Oh, and
like
she's so like lovable. You
mm,
just love her.
yeah, like if there's anyone who hates her out there, it's like why?
What's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
yeah, it's like that doesn't sound like an ish me. That's an issue. So that's what I say all the time. I had to throw that in somehow.
I'm gonna steal that. I'll say your
Oh,
name after I
oh,
use it.
bet yes. I love that. Awesome. Yeah, no, because no one knows how to respond to that. They're like, oh, okay, never mind then. Um, yeah, no, but I forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind.
Who's to know?
Yeah, exactly. But do you have any like, of course, if you could say, you have any upcoming projects or that you are working on?
Yeah. I just did a little tiny co-star on Smash, which is on Netflix, which was really fun. And I got to scream near another SNL person who I just love, Kyle Mooney, who's so lovely. But I was barely in that. I just had a blast being there. But I'm doing a lot of short films right now.
Oh,
So
cool.
I really like working with people that are brand new and like I love doing short films because you get a lot of bang for your buck. You're there for like a weekend, you do a whole thing, and then you get to see a whole masterpiece come together. Short films are so cool.
I love watching those kind of like films or just like very like underrated movies like when like Oscar worthy movies whatever. You're just a bunch of people making a movie with their friends or whatever. You just
Yeah,
those are
making art.
always yeah, those are always the underrated gems. Like they really
Yeah, and
are.
they're the passion projects. Anything that like that's another thing. Short films, like they're almost always passion projects
Mhm.
because they're not trying to be they're not trying to be in a movie theater.
Yeah.
They're showing like that they're passionate about their art. So it's usually people that are like, we love to be
You're
here.
like, yes. Like, and you might get lucky. You might get a theater. It playing in the
Yeah.
theater. I
And
mean,
short films have their own like category and
mm,
awards and stuff.
yeah, like short form film festivals and all that. Like those are
Yeah.
always fun. Like, I've never been to one, of course, but like I always hear those are fun. Those are always the best
They're
ones.
really cool. I went to a horror one, like a horror short film festival. I had nothing in it. I was just like really curious. It was so fun. Short horror films are so fun.
Like, do you just go there and like watch movies all the time, like all day, or?
I just went because one of my friends was in one of the films, and I was like, let's do it. And you get to sit there and you see like all the movies. I don't know how I know like if you were in something, you can usually get a ticket, but I'm pretty sure for a lot of the short film ones, you can just purchase a ticket for like a relatively low amount
I
and
would
then
assume.
get to sit and watch a bunch of brand new films that might never be seen.
That's so cool. Like, I know a lot of them actually end up on Amazon Prime too. Actually.
Yeah, yeah. There's a ton on Amazon Prime. A lot of them end up on like baby streamers, like
Mhm.
what is it, like Tubi
Oh,
and
Tubi, Pluto.
Pluto. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's Yeet.
Yeet. I
Why
never.
Yeet?
Wait. Wait. There's. I didn't know that was actually one called Yeet. I like that.
Yeah, there's one called Yeet. There's so many of these like bitty baby streamers, and these short films like find their little homes.
That's so cool. Like, I know a couple of my friends and I, we spent like a couple months just watching just like horror or just like comedy movies on Amazon Prime. It was like a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
and
Like,
there's so many that you would never see anywhere else.
yeah, it's so just like mind blowing. And I remember like there was one movie that we got really attached to. It was like a horror movie, like about like a mime. And uh, what?
What's it called? I want to see it.
Silent but Deadly.
I feel like I've heard of this.
But
Okay.
like I tweeted at one of the actors just for like the meme of it, and I got a full fledged like behind the scenes extra from him in DMs and all that. And then I got reached out like, and he shot me over to the director of the movie. The director sent me and my friend signed posters. Like, what?
Wait, it's Silent but Deadly. Genevieve. What's her name? I can't remember. I'm gonna get back to you because I have a
Okay.
friend who does these films, and I'm pretty sure she's in that one.
Ooh.
Otherwise, why would I have heard of this?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, definitely let me know. And the director's a super cool guy and all of that. And it was really a cool experience. What we did that. I did not expect
I
it.
bet you made their day. Like they're probably thinking nobody watches it. You don't get counts. It's hard to get knowledge of like how many people are actually watching your thing if it's on a streamer.
Yeah, and it's really cool because you get to support the actors and the filmmakers and all that. And that's what I love. I love because I want to go into like that industry one day, and like I'm trying. I'm going to school for it and all that. So
Awesome.
it's cool. It's a cool like learning about all of it too.
Yeah. And there's so much to learn. And it's like, you can really, if COVID has shown us nothing else, you can really
Mhm.
find anything online. Like if you want to be entertained, there are over 500 TV shows on television, like 500 scripted shows that are available on TV and on streamers.
That is totally true. Like
Like
100%.
anybody who says that like they're out of things to watch is a liar.
No, yeah. Go onto YouTube. Go on to anything that has video streaming live stuff. You can find a lot there.
Yeah, yeah, especially with live streamers now.
Yeah.
And yeah, all of that. You could watch endless material.
Yeah, I mean, I'm live for like 5 6 hours a day.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a long amount of time.
It kills me, but it's fun. It's worth it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. No, and I know because I know like a lot of people. Because I think because of my TikTok, I play Minecraft and all that. And a lot of people kind of like disregard the game, but a lot of people could actually. There's like I know there's a one YouTube series going on right now where there's like a huge storyline going on, characters like very in depth like character development. It's really cool. It's kind of really got me into like going back full force into like getting my name out there. So
Yeah, it's crazy the way that the world works now. You can be literally anywhere in the whole world,
that's
and
true.
you can make an international audience. It's insane.
Yeah, like I mean, not, we're not international, but like you're in LA and I'm in Jersey right now, so it's just like
Yeah,
that's so
it's
cool.
amazing. The world is so small now.
Like think about like in the '80s, none of this would have been possible. None of it. You thought of it.
No,
Yeah.
I think about that a lot. Like how would I even have made it to any of my job? Like I wouldn't know where to go. I'd get lost and like couldn't call anybody or
Mhm.
text anybody at that time. Or well, you
Yeah.
could call in the 80s,
Yeah.
but
Calling was a bit weird.
still weird.
Yeah, it's that's true. Yeah, no, I think about that more than a lot actually. Like me in the '80s, like that's pretty cool. I kind of would like to experience that, but
Yeah, I think about like my grandparents too, and like how people meet each other is just so different. When
Mm.
you're like back in our grandparents' time, like they couldn't even meet other people from other places. You meet who's near you.
Yeah, yeah. And nowadays, like you have people meeting from like the U.S., England, and all that other stuff, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, the amount of people that have commented on my TikTok videos in other languages
Oh,
is
really?
like a huge number. And I don't know what any of it means, but I think it's awesome that they're there.
Yeah, like I'm a hoping it's something nice.
I have a feeling you're saying ew gross.
What do people actually say? You're gross in there? 'Cause
Yes, that's the majority of the
oh,
comments.
I mean, it does look good half the time. Half.
Eh.
I had to say half the time though. Um, but I think that's all. Is there anything you want to say before we head on off here?
Yeah, give me a follow at Samantha Turret on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm Sam Turret on Twitter, but I don't tweet much. But I'm there, so give
Yes.
me a follow. Yeah, it was so nice seeing
You
you.
too. All your links will be in the description below. So
Awesome.
don't worry about it's just in case like people have trouble with it. It'll be there. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed this interview. Not sure what the next one's gonna be, but we will figure it out. But Samantha, thank you so much for coming on here. Like you were awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's
No
so nice
problem.
actually like visibly like I can see you
Yeah.
as a human
Yeah,
being.
you too. um, but yeah, guys, we will talk to you all later. Don't forget to subscribe for more. It's free. And you can always unsubscribe later. It's very different from my content. I usually like Minecraft stuff on here, so if you guys like that, it's pretty dope. Not gonna lie, but make sure you guys follow the Twitch and all that. And I will talk to y'all later. Have a good night, everybody.